Today we'll be going over all the latest Tesla news on updates on the Berlin and Shanghai Gigafactories, the cancelled rear-wheel drive Model Y, and that we might be getting the $25,000 Tesla sooner than we think. Elon gave us an update on the Berlin Gigafactory earlier last week on his Twitter. This video showcases a massive 5-story Gigafactory that will be Tesla's most advanced yet, and will be mass producing Model Ys at its launch. The Berlin Gigafactory will also produce Tesla's most advanced battery systems, which could mean their in-house made batteries that they announced on Battery Day last year. However, these batteries won't be made by their usual supplier, Panasonic. These batteries will be tabless 4860 batteries that they announced on Battery Day. They will be 6 times more powerful than their previous ones and will increase range by 16%, all while being cheaper for Tesla to produce and allow them to pack more batteries into the cell. The Shanghai Gigafactory, which mass produces Model 3s and as of last year Model Ys, made headlines last week after Tesla allowed a media network in for a special tour. It was reported Tesla is producing Model Ys every 2 minutes. That's 21 Model Ys per hour and 700 Model Ys per day. And since the Model Y is only in its infancy, it's possible when the Berlin Gigafactory opens, there could be an even better rate of production. And if Tesla continues at this rate of 700 Model Ys per day, that's 250,000 Model Ys annually. However, in Tesla's Q4 earnings call, they stated that they want to sell a combined 450,000 units between the Model 3 and the Model Y. But with Tesla selling over 360,000 Model 3s and slightly over 70,000 Model Ys in 2020, and with Model Y production ramping up in the Shanghai Gigafactory and eventually in the Berlin Gigafactory later this year, it's very possible that Tesla could overperform the 450,000 units sold for both models. Tesla also shared earlier this week on their Twitter that they have the largest die casting machine in the world at their Fremont Gigafactory in this short 30-second video. The machine was so large, Tesla couldn't build it inside of the factory, so instead they built it outside and just put a roof over top of it. This machinery casts front and rear underbodies in one single piece, which cuts Tesla's parts for those sections of the Model 3 and Model Y pieces in those front and rear underbodies. This will cut Tesla's costs by cutting parts dramatically and will allow Tesla to make Model 3s and Model Ys much quicker as there is far less assembly. Moving on to the next topic, Tesla asked customers who bought the long-range rear-wheel drive Model Y to choose a new configuration. Tesla planned to sell this version as well as with its standard range rear-wheel drive, along with the rest of the all-wheel drive versions. Although a report from Teslarati is saying people who pre-ordered the long-range rear-wheel drive Model Y are being asked to change their orders since the long-range rear-wheel drive Model Y is no longer available. The cancellations of the rear-wheel drive Model Y started earlier in the summer of 2020 when Elon said the standard range rear-wheel drives would be canceled due to, quote, unacceptable range with the range of only 250 miles. To combat that, Elon said there will be a single motor, long-range rear-wheel drive coming in the next few months that will have well over 300 miles of range. Although all of that, in January of 2021, Tesla rolled out the standard range rear-wheel drive Model Y with 244 miles of range, which previously Elon condemned as unacceptable. And since now a standard range rear-wheel drive Model Y is out in the market, Tesla sees no reason for there to be a long-range rear-wheel drive configuration. Although Tesla stated if you bought full self-driving in a pre-order standard range rear-wheel drive or a long-range rear-wheel drive, you wouldn't have to purchase it again. So in review for the Model Y, there is a standard range rear-wheel drive, and for the long range of performance, those are all-wheel drive. And before we get into today's last topic, today's Tesla moment of the day is the drag race between the Model Y and the Porsche Taycan.
Counting down in 3, 2, 1, go!
That's a bit more conclusive than what I thought.
Not even close!
106 miles an hour at the end.
Alistair, I'm afraid to say that wasn't even close.
Ready? Give me a honk, please.
He's gonna go on 1. I'm gonna go on go. That should be enough. Make this race a little more interesting.
Okay, drivers. Race in 3, 2, 1, go!
It's a little delayed. Oh, I was a bit slow on the off.
Bye-bye!
Oh.
Bye-bye, Mr. Porsche! Bye!
Once this thing's up and running, there's not actually much in it. I think it's just got a bit more traction with the old all-wheel drive.
Now we're going to do a roll-on race. We're both going to get up to about 30 miles an hour and then cross the start line, nail the go pedal as we do so to see if the gap stays the same as the race continues, to see if how much this race is based on the launch.
Okay, 30 miles an hour. I'm not even level.
And there's the horsepower. There's the horsepower.
Oh, man. Next time I need to bring a Turbo S.
I think it's just a horsepower advantage.
Yeah.
This is insane considering that this isn't even Tesla's best performing model and it still blew the Taycan out of the water. And even with Porsche coming out saying they only want to focus in the performance of their EVs, not even Tesla's best performing car beat theirs by a landslide. And lastly, for today's Tesla news, we may be getting the $25,000 Tesla sooner than we think. The rumored car has been named the Model 2 by Tesla superfans on the internet. Tesla has recently got permission from Shanghai government to add manufacturing space to the Shanghai Gigafactory to produce a China-designed vehicle. In the filing, Tesla breaks its plan into two phases. Phase 1 is focused on increasing production capacity for Tesla's cars already being built, which would be the Model 3 and the Model Y. But this was expected as Tesla is trying to build more and new components for their current models. But the news that they filed to build a new plant for a new vehicle came sooner than expected. Although after the plant would be constructed, it would still take 6 months after that just for the testing phase to take place. It's rumored that the Model 2 will be based off the Model 3 but end up having a hatchback, and it's estimated that the cost would be anywhere from $25,000 to $30,000. The $25,000 Model 2 will use an LiP battery, which Tesla currently uses in its China-made Model 3s. The LiP, or the lithium iron phosphate battery, compared to a nickel or a nickel manganese battery, has far less energy density. However, there is a vast abundance of iron compared to nickel, which will ensure Tesla to have enough raw materials to mass produce their most cost-efficient and high-volume model to date. The Model 2 is expected to get anywhere from 225 to 300 miles of range, and it's expected we'll get an unveiling or some kind of news about the Model 2 by November of 2021, and deliveries to start in the beginning of 2022. So what do you think of the Model 2? Do you think we'll get it in that timeline? Let me know in the comments below. But if you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like. You can subscribe right here if you're new. You can watch my last video right here, and a playlist of all my other videos right here. And I'll catch you on Wednesday for the latest in Tesla news.